What if I told you some of the things you were taught in school weren't just wrong, they could actually be dangerous? From fake science to twisted history, these so-called facts might still be shaping how you think today, and it's time to expose them. In school, we were told to trust the textbooks, trust the teachers, and believe the lessons. But what if some of those lessons were built on myths, half-truths, or even lies? Today, we're digging into the shocking things you were taught in school that aren't just wrong, they could actually be dangerous to believe. When you were a kid, you probably thought everything your teacher said was absolute truth. After all, they stood in front of the class, pointing at the chalkboard with confidence, backed by textbooks that looked official and unquestionable. But what if I told you that some of the facts drilled into us at school weren't just wrong, they could actually be dangerous to believe? Let's start with one of the classics. The human tongue has separate taste zones. You've probably seen the diagram where the tip of the tongue tastes sweet, the sides taste sour, and the back tastes bitter. It looks neat and scientific, right? The only problem is, it's completely false. Every part of your tongue can sense all 5 tastes. Believing this myth can actually lead to misunderstandings in medical science and nutrition, with people ignoring symptoms or thinking they've lost taste sensitivity in one zone. Another big lie? The old saying that humans only use 10% of their brains. You've likely heard it in school, maybe even repeated it to friends. The truth is, brain scans show that we use nearly every part of our brain, even when we're resting. Believing the 10% myth can be dangerous because it creates false hope for miracle products or shady brain training scams. People have literally lost money and wasted years of their lives chasing a hidden part of the brain that doesn't exist. Now let's move to history. Remember when we were told that Christopher Columbus discovered America? That neat little story leaves out a lot. For starters, millions of people already lived here long before Columbus arrived. Not to mention, the Vikings had reached parts of North America centuries earlier. By oversimplifying the past, schools accidentally feed us a false sense of history. The danger here is bigger than you think. It shapes how entire generations understand identity, culture, and even current politics. Speaking of history, how many times did you hear that medieval people believed the Earth was flat? Teachers love that story because it makes the past sound ignorant. But in reality, scholars in the Middle Ages knew the Earth was round. Believing this myth can be dangerous because it warps our view of human progress. It suggests people were far dumber than they actually were, which makes us underestimate how quickly knowledge can be lost or distorted. Here's a science one that might shock you. The idea that blood inside your body is blue until it touches oxygen. Remember those diagrams in textbooks showing blue veins? That was used to prove the myth. In reality, your blood is always red. It just looks blue through the skin because of how light scatters. The danger here is that myths like this can stop people from properly understanding their own health. If you don't know the truth about something as basic as blood, how can you make informed decisions when it comes to medicine? And then there's evolution. Some schools skipped over it, others presented it as just a theory in the everyday sense of the word, as if it were a wild guess. But in science, a theory is something backed by mountains of evidence. Downplaying evolution in schools has led to generations misunderstanding biology, genetics, and even medicine. The danger? People who don't accept evolution often reject life-saving medical science, from vaccines to antibiotics. Finally, one of the most widespread school lies, that failure is the opposite of success. Many students were taught that making mistakes is something to fear, something that proves you're not smart enough. But the truth is, failure is one of the most important steps in learning. Believing the lie that mistakes make you less can hold people back for life, stopping them from trying new things, chasing big ideas, or building confidence. So, the next time you look back at your school days, remember this: not everything written in a textbook or taught in class is guaranteed to be true. Some of those facts may have been oversimplified, outdated, or just plain wrong. And the real danger isn't just believing the lies, it's not questioning them. So the next time someone tells you, "That's what we learned in school," remember, school doesn't always get it right. Question everything,
because the most dangerous lesson of all is believing something just because you were told to. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden lies, make sure to stick around for more truths that will change the way you see the world.